I shouldn't be going through this at my school.
Again, this time in Texas, high schoolers near Houston running for their lives after a classmate starts shooting inside a classroom.
We all heard a teacher run through the hallway, Mr. Harms. He goes, there's a dude in the building with a shotgun.
And then we heard 3 shots. I saw some girl, she had she got shot in the kneecap, I guess.
10 people are dead, 10 more hurt. Among those injured, a school resource officer.
This happened around 8 this morning at Santa Fe High School, about 30 miles southeast of Houston. Explosives, pipe bombs, and Molotov cocktails were also found in and around the school. The suspect, 17-year-old Dimitrios Pagourtzis. He's now facing capital murder charges. Police are interviewing 2 other people today. We do have live team coverage for you, but we begin with Doug Dunbar here in the studio with the very latest. Doug?
Ken and Gilman, Texas Governor Greg Abbott already talking today, called today's shooting, quote, one of the most heinous attacks that we've ever seen in the history of Texas schools. The words of the governor. He also says that unlike some other mass shootings, so far what he sees, there were few, honestly, if any, warnings that this was coming until today.
I was scared for my life. Nobody should go through this. Nobody should be able to feel that in school.
Officials say that 9 students and 1 teacher are dead after 17-year-old Dimitrios Pagourtzis allegedly walked into an art class at Santa Fe High School in Harris County and then opened fire.
Several more shots. He's actually shooting. He's in the art room. We got shots fired right now, guys. We need all of you.
Witnesses described running from the school when they heard the gunshots.
A teacher was telling us to go, 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 and then, it's like instinct. You're scared, you're traumatized, so you're running as fast as you can.
Officials say that explosive devices were also then found at the school and also in surrounding areas, and then began to warn locals to be on the lookout for anything that looked suspicious.
Various different kinds of explosive devices have already been detected. One was a CO2 device, another was a Molotov cocktail, and there are various other types of explosive devices that have been identified both in a home as well as in a vehicle.
More than a dozen other people were injured this morning, including the shooter, and at least 1 person this evening is still in critical condition. President Trump says the federal government will be involved.
My administration is determined to do everything in our power to protect our students, secure our schools, and to keep weapons out of the hands of those who pose a threat to themselves and to others.
President speaking a little bit earlier today from the White House. One final note on this end of things. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick says the state now is going to work with schools proactively to try to make them safer, throwing out some ideas to maybe redesign some schools with security in mind, obviously, and also maybe limit the number of entries and exits. Gilman, no clear answers yet, but a clear discussion that is about to happen.
Doug, thank you. The shooter once again identified as 17-year-old Dimitrios Pagourtzis. CBS News has learned he is a player on the high school's junior varsity football team. He's also part of a dance squad with the local Greek Orthodox church. Governor Greg Abbott said that he kept journals.
We also know information already that the shooter has information contained in journals on his computer and a cell phone that he said that not only did he want to commit the shooting, but he wanted to commit suicide after the shooting. As you probably know, he gave himself up and admitted at the time that he didn't have the courage to commit the suicide, that he wanted to take his own life earlier.
The governor also said there are 1 or 2 other people of interest being interviewed about the shooting.
And shortly after the shooting, President Donald Trump sent his condolences from the White House.
We grieve for the terrible loss of life and send our support and love to everyone affected. May God heal the injured, and may God comfort the wounded, and may God be with the victims and with the victims' families.
Students, school districts, and advocacy groups here in North Texas are all now reacting to the news of today's shooting in Santa Fe, many saying it hits very close to home here. Our coverage continues now with Brooke Rogers. She is live for us in Dallas with that part of the story. Brooke?
Well, Ken, of course, was the news nobody wanted to hear, especially parents of school-aged children. Both Dallas and Fort Worth independent school districts both quick to send statements reviewing their own security measures to ease parents' concerns. The Fort Worth Police Department has a training program called Avoid, Deny, Defend to prepare for such a worst-case scenario. DISD recently launched a campaign called See, Say, Do Something for student input. Amanda Johnson with the Dallas chapter of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America says the fact that students are starting to speak up has been an important change in the conversation about gun violence.
And it offers us a lot of really good things we haven't tried yet. I've been so impressed with the students groups that have come to Light Sense Parkland, bringing up really good ideas. Things like credible ways to report things they've heard, the way that they report bullying. They need to be able to report threats.
And Moms Demand Action has already organized a vigil in Santa Fe. It's going to be made up of members of the local chapter and also gun survivors from around the country. Live in Dallas, Brooke Rogers, CBS 11 News.
Brooke, thank you. Survivors of the school shooting in Parkland, Florida quickly responded on social media expressing outrage and heartbreak. Jacqueline Cornyn said in a tweet, quote, "My heart is so heavy for the students of Santa Fe High School. It's an all too familiar feeling no one should have to experience. I am so sorry this epidemic touched your town. Parkland will stand with you now and forever." Cornyn is a part of a grassroots movement rallying for gun reform. Governor Abbott today called for a roundtable discussion on gun violence. He wants stakeholders to begin talks next week to find solutions to prevent similar tragedies. In November, an attack at a church in Sutherland Springs killed more than 24 people. Some of those victims' families will take part in the roundtable discussions.
The president this afternoon has ordered the flags to be flown at half-staff in memory of those who were killed today. This order comes on the heels of Texas Governor Greg Abbott ordering all Texas flags be flown at half-staff. They will remain that way until Tuesday evening. You're going to want to stay with CBS 11 as we continue to learn more about the events that led up to today's shooting in Santa Fe. Keep an eye on our website, cbsdfw.com, and our social media channels. We're going to have new information for you there, and we will update you there just as soon as we get new details.